Mercedes race. He's on pole for round 24, which is watched by Paul O'Neill and Richard John Neal. Ginetta Juniors.
Very long overdue win for Mr. McNeely, wasn't it, yesterday?
Oh wow, I know, I was starting to doubt, and he had such a strong year last year, so it's been a shame to see that, but
yeah, it's been a pity.
Great to see him win, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, and well deserved. He's come close to it a few times this year. Reminder that the car we're looking at on the front row, the white car, the blue stripe down the centre with the orange trim, Fox Motorsports' Liam McNeely, who was second in the championship last year and took quite a few race wins, and we were expecting him to be there or thereabouts on the championship this year. He was, I know, mid-season aiming for third in the championship, and he's taken third position after race one because there was a judicial against Harry Reynolds who got taken out of the result. And lots of judicials in Ginetta's this year, and we were discussing driving standards earlier on, and I think 2 drivers have been excluded now from the championship, had their licences suspended. I'm not going to name names here, but we were making the point, Paul, that the driving standards are very closely monitored and are being dealt with when there are incidents. Now people are saying, actually, maybe it's gone a little bit too far.
Well, I don't know, I think you've got to learn, and we have seen and spoke about over the years of driving standards, and I think it has to start at the very bottom, which is the junior ladder. So I know that there's some good friends of mine actually in charge of what goes on with the steward in there, some ex-racing drivers that I know, Johnny Kane in particular, Tom Onzo Cole, they do have a say, or they have had a say in what's gone on. So yeah, it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? I get it, but I don't get what's going on there. Are they not? There's just a junior race on. They'll be going up that rock. What's going on?
It's Ginetta ladder they're coming down, I think. So.
Oh dear me, there's a lot going on, isn't there?
Yeah.
A lot going on here.
Yeah, so
busy day, isn't it?
It's a very busy day, yeah. And juniors have got 2 rounds. This, of course, the much vaunted last outing with the touring car programme for the Ginetta Junior Championship. Teams have taken it mixed view. Some are very much looking forward to having these sports cars as being on a sports car programme next year, which is great. But as we mentioned, sad for us to lose out. And it's the likes of Akil Alibi, the young South African driver. He's on the front row there in yellow and black, back on the front row. He's had an up and down year. I think he's going to go single seaters next year. Announcement will be made soon, but probably staying in the UK, which is great for all of us that like seeing a Kiel race. Got Harry Reynolds keen after his exclusion yesterday. He's third on the grid. Although the championship is done, these guys are just going to go out there and race. And I think Josh wanted to race, Josh Rowledge, but so that he doesn't get penalty points and licence points and everything else. Not that he would, because he hasn't done over the course of the season. The reason the champion's not here is so that he doesn't lose that provisional championship title.
And he'll be desperate to race.
He does want to race, yeah.
That's just one of those things, and it'll be the senior management telling him it's probably the best thing to do. But that's another learning thing. If I was in there, it doesn't matter if you was junior, you want to go racing. But a great array of cars. We've been so fortunate over the years to see the likes of Lando Norris and everyone else that's come through the ranks with the juniors. So yeah, here's the grid.
So here's our grid, the first of 2 races for you today from the Ginetta Junior Championship. Pole position, Liam McNeely, double pole for him this weekend. Akil Alibi alongside, and then Harry Reynolds and Josh Rowledge, gap where Josh Rowledge would have been on row 2. Luke Watts is next up with the rookie champion, and that's Will McIntyre on row 3. 4th row, Joe Warhurst and Maurice Henry, Kanato Lee and Zach Meakin on row 5. Row 6, Alicia Parmosky and Mackenzie Douglas. Then it's Freddie Slater and Finn Harrison, Luca Hopkinson and Sid Smith on row 8. Ella Lloyd with Leona Theobald on row 9. Behind them, Shravan Shan-McGavel had an incident yesterday, brought the safety car out. Mikey Porter is next to him. Then it's Adam Brown and Tom Spragg with Flynn McHardy completing our grid. Always make a great sight, these cars, and particularly when the sun's shining, we've got blue skies, these the most colourful awning, I have to say, is elite, because they used to have yellow and black. Do you remember they looked like, you always used to use the analogy about bees or wasps and loads of them, but they changed the colours and it's just a rainbow, isn't it, now when you go in there?
No, it's lovely, isn't it? A lot of bright colours, isn't there, in the whole of the Ginetta paddock, not just juniors, GT4s as well. But I remember Adam Smalley had the buzzing bee, didn't he, on the front of his car?
He did, yeah.
In Ginetta GT4 Super Cup. So yeah, it's good to know that the drivers actually sit at home when it's finished and watch it back and see what's going on. Another person I'd like to speak about who'd love to race, we get a replay of it, only joking, but off the start of the green flag lap, Scotty Stringfellow in that GT4 Super Cup safety car, he proper left some black lines. I mean, get the kids revved up, mate. I was like, what's he done that for?
Yeah, good lad. Scott always a nice guy to chat to in the paddock and loves his racing. Got a fair good history in racing as well. But Liam McNeely here, difficult job from pole position here. We discussed that yesterday. Akil Alibi, maybe a little bit more pressure on Akil because he hasn't had a race win so far, but he's got the tools to do it. He's certainly got the know-how to do it, and they're well back, aren't they, from the start shoot just pointed.
Yeah, that front row, Richard, is they could be a bit closer to that white line, but at least they're both not too far away, and they're both the same distance away. So difficult as a driver because you just don't. You'd rather be short than go over the line, but the green flag is about to be waved.
Yeah, that's as near as we can get to the start of the race. So just when everybody is in position, we are all okay now. So the nerves will be jangling for Liam McNeely, who we look at left of shot, the yellow and black car of Akil Alibi, the young South African, right next to him. Essex boy versus South Africans on the front row of the grid. Lights go out. We are racing. Great start again by McNeely from pole position here. And Akil is going to slot into second position. Watch for the red car of Will McIntyre. He's trying to get up alongside with Harry Reynolds at the moment. He's alongside for fourth position. Harry Reynolds is in third. Reynolds was the early season championship leader, remember. It's been a good start, hasn't it, from McIntyre. He wants to go out with a win in this one. He's slotting in behind Reynolds into fourth place. Down behind him is Luke Watts in the first of the R-Racing cars.
Yeah, great start. Let's hold our breath. It's on the Grand Prix circuits. There's a bit more space now as we come down to Greymill Bend, but the pinch point for me is Druids, and they got all through there. There's a few run wide just coming back on at Greymill Bend, but this is looking great as they head now onto the GP loop.
Joe Warhurst, just a little nudge on the back end there of Maurice Henry. Canato Lee in the black, white, yellow car trying to go through. Zach Meakin in the Larry green, orange and black car in the mix as well, but super start by Liam McNeely, and he'll want this one to go the full distance. We only had about 3-4 laps yesterday. Oh no, I was just going to say I was expecting Alicia Parmosky to come through the field because she was quickest in the test day here a few weeks ago and second quickest in free practice on Friday. Not to be her race, big shame.
Yeah, real big shame, isn't it? No safety car yet, nothing's happened, so let's see what goes on and let's keep on with the racing. But look at this, Canato Lee, toe-to-toe, safety car now deployed, and Canato Lee makes that place up.
Yeah, all sort themselves out, they'll be on the brakes, safety car is ready for Alicia's car to be. This is not what we wanted. It was maybe some bundling going on in the first corner to send Alicia out, which is a shame. Alicia, of course, the reigning scholarship winning driver, so this is her scholar year, still working hard to get the budget to come back and race juniors again next year.
Yeah, she sent me a really lovely message actually on Instagram, just thanking myself and you and everyone at ITV for the coverage and taking the time to go and speak to her at Donington Park for the first race. So not what we want to see from Alicia, but she had a decent run at it yesterday, didn't she? I think she was 11th, was she?
Yeah, she's very, very quick. You know, regardless of the female argument or anything else, she is quick. She was say second quickest in FP1 on Friday and won the scholarship. There was no looking at gender or anything else with the scholarship. They picked the best person to do the job, and that was what Alicia did last year. She's going to be at the scholarship this year as well. Oh, shame. That was a real shame.
Yeah, that was a real shame. It was a bit of a hip and shoulder, wasn't it? So she's coming into the middle of the shot. She's on the outside there. Yeah, there's not, I'll tell you what, there's not, from looking at it, Mackenzie Douglas that was, it looked like they were both running wide, and then she had to turn in, and Mackenzie was there, so bit of a shame. Great start though, Liam McNeely just got it hooked up.
He's got these sorted, hasn't he?
Yeah, really has. It was great, and look at the 3 and 4 abreast down into Paddock Hill Bends. The pinch point is usually coming up, but they all made sure they defended correctly and didn't cut across the front of anybody, and nothing really untoward happened here because it only takes a tap at the rear in these junior cars. Rear wheel drive, quite a lot of horsepower, and they're not on slicks, remember, they're on normal tyres you'd find on your road car, so some good side-by-side action. Alicia gets a bit of a hip and shoulder there, so you can just see her car there was squeezed a touch into Greymill Bend, but then it finished going on to the Grand Prix.
So still under safety car here, Brands Hatch GP, whilst Alicia's car is recovered. Alicia did, by the way, also say it's traditional for the winner of the Ginetta Scholarship to come back and sort of shake hands with the new winner for next year, and so I said, well, we'll see you on the final day of it. It's in the half-term week. I think there's still a couple of places going, not quite oversubscribed yet, but if you fancy a great day out, even if you don't want to go up the racing ladder, it's a great thing to do. And Alicia said she's coming on. I said, well, she's going to join us on the judging panel for the media side, which is going to be really cool, so she can bring her experience to having a look at the youngsters, and she's actually going to go all 3 days apparently. So
that's a good thing. I think
you know,
if you've won it, I think it's a great thing that you go back and give your experience, because it's. I always say in motorsport, it's always good to give back if you've received. So it's a good thing. That is just going to be a pull out the gravel, very deep gravel there on the exit of that corner. It's not a place you want to go off Surtees, because you can hardly ever get any car out of there because it's so deep. It just wheel spins and digs in. But she's obviously tried to drive through, and then she's just been took by the gravel into near the tie wall. But yeah, that was a bit of a 50-50 when I looked at that with Mackenzie.
Yeah.
It did look like they were just battling for the same piece of tarmac.
She's got another race, but unfortunately, it's the first retirement. She'll be starting at the back of the grid. Alicia's granddad used to race Brisker Formula 1 stock cars back in the day, a long time ago.
Absolute
bit like,
lad.
Yeah, a bit like Dan Ginchot. His dad raced, and his granddad raced before that. So Dan Ginchot's granddad raced against Alicia Palmowski's granddad, but they're in different formula here. So there's a sort of a tie there with the formula that they raced. I don't think Alicia's dad Martin raced.
There's a big connection, isn't there, with that kind of racing and Ginetta's?
Yeah.
Like, through GT4s and juniors as well. We do have a lot of that crossover, which is good to see. So that car now, yeah, that'll be clutching, because sometimes they're stuck in like third gear. It's difficult to without them rolling. So Alicia's in there, making sure that she's got down the gears into neutral or just kept the clutch in. They'll get that out the way and stick that probably in between the Indy circuit and the Grand Prix loop. So that is going to be gone. Not too sure where the cars are now. Yeah, she'll be pulled out the way there. They'll put it in the gap between the barriers. So the cars, I'm not too sure whether they'll restart this on this lap. The lights are still on. Yeah, it's going to be nip and tuck. We're being told the lights are still on. So, oh no, I reckon.
We've got a bit of time.
Yeah, I think they've got a bit of time, but they're not. They're going to.
This is coming into Sterling's, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do it, because it'd be too late now to pull away in that Ginetta to restart, I think.
Yesterday we had the onboard, didn't we, from Josh Rowledge, right behind Liam McNeely, and Josh wanted to go out with a win, which he didn't. I'm pleased Liam got one, and I think, to be fair, the rest of the grid would be pleased that Liam deserves a win with what he's done this year. Yeah, definitely, and the Fox team are fantastic as well. They're not the oldest of teams. No, they're not. No, I've driven for Fox Motorsport. Liam's dad, Paul McNeely, heavily involved in the team. Jamie Stanley, some good people from the top of British motorsport getting involved, and they run a fantastic outfit. And I've been, very privileged to drive for them. And we won one of the races here, actually, the 1,000-kilometre Lotus race. Me and Paul McNeely, so Liam's dad, and BJ Chong as well. So really good weekend that was, and thoroughly enjoyed it. And there's someone who's not thoroughly enjoying it, but that's finished and done. Car's out the way. Alicia is safe, and she'll have a good view of the race now. Yeah, Finn Green, he was the first Fox Junior driver, and they're rocking up here at for the juniors the first time they were here, and going over and saying welcome to the paddock. Great to see a new team. Yeah, Finn Green. I haven't seen Finn for a long time. It'd be nice to find out what's happening with him. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, because Jamie Stanley had to drive the junior car at Croft, and he come up to me and he went, "That is one of the most difficult things I've ever had to do in my life." He said it was so hard to drive. So don't think that these junior cars are just junior cars and easy to drive. I'll guarantee, if some of the driver coaches who have won at a top level, like Phil Blue, drove one of these cars, they would struggle to probably get in the top 10, especially Phil, because he is so bad as a driver. He'd need the little blocks and the booster seat as well, wouldn't he? He's shorter than a lot of these junior drivers, is Phil Blue. Anyway, he does coach a lot of them. He does, and he's a fantastic driver coach, he's a good guy. Good. Lights are off, Richard. Here we go. Yeah, so Scott will bring the safety car back into pit lane, and this is not new territory for Liam McNeely, the youngster from Brentwood in Essex. And he's ready. He's already made the move. Look at that. McNeely's already flooring it. They can't overtake, of course, until they get to the start-finish line. The yellow flags will be waved there. It'll be green after that, but McNeely's already allowed it, and he can do that. He can control the restart of the race himself, which he has done very well indeed from Akil Alabai in P2. So away we go. It's Harry Reynolds still in third place. The race is back underway, hopefully without first lap bunching, as in fourth position McIntyre, Watts, Joe Warhurst, Kanato Lee, then Maurice Henry is next up. He's the next of the Fox Motorsport drivers. The third of the Fox drivers this weekend is Sid Smith. And Sid enjoying just a couple of rounds in juniors. He's got the Fiesta Junior Championship finale to come here in a couple of weeks' time on the Indy circuit, part of the Formula Ford Festival. As Harry Reynolds has a look here at Akil Alabai going wide, will go for the cutback maybe on the way onto the Grand Prix. Luke tries to get a bit more momentum. They get a bit snaky now, but here comes the red machine of McIntyre, the rookie champion, looking up the inside, and McIntyre's going to try and do both of them.
I've got my programme up in the air because I thought that was going to be contact, but look at Reynolds. Brilliant. Reynolds now knows that Akil is backing up Will McIntyre, so he can go around the outside of one, but I think he's going to come unstuck here because he's got two more behind him. One is Joe Warhurst in that blue and black car. Look at that side by side, the ears getting folded in on these cars, the Mickey Mouse ears, the wing mirrors on these cars. Look at the 37. I think that's Luke Watts, isn't it? He's trying to get involved. Harry Reynolds on the grass gets it all back together, but now Joe Warhurst down the inside. He's lost out big time there.
This is all reasonable news for Akil, the South African out front, who has the pressure off him at the minute, although now he's got the rookie champion closing up, or all going off behind, and closing up is Ginetta Lee, the Japanese driver, looking to get stuck in as well. Replay.
Okay, so what was all this about? Oh, that's a bit of a late break there. That was Finn Harrison, wasn't it?
Yep.
Ah, that was a shame. And into the side of, I couldn't quite see who that was.
No, Finn had an incident yesterday with Tom Spragg, and Tom said they'd shaken hands and were getting on with it. Tom trying to make progress up from the back of the grid. It's in 19th place at the moment, relatively from the back of the grid. And Harrison, I think, will be a little bit further back. But Liam McNeely's checked out here. This is the key thing. McNeely getting away from the chasing pack in P2. There is Sid Smith in the orange and green car. So Sid Smith coming under pressure from Ella Lloyd. Ella's been a good addition to this championship as well. So Ella in the pink and white car chasing Sid Smith, who leads the BRSCC Fiesta Junior Championship at the moment. There's been talk about, will the Fiesta Juniors be the junior championship that comes onto the package? We don't know is the answer to that, but it's a great little championship, and their finale here on the Indy Circuit 2 weeks' time. Sid Smith enjoying it, son of a former renowned sports car racer, and Ella making the move here. Good stuff.
Oh, great stuff. That was fantastic move from Ella. She punished him into a mistake on the way into Graham Hill and just said thank you very much, and yeah, just made him break a bit too late, and she's past Smith. Good stuff from Lloyd.
Good stuff as well from the race leader, who is clear. We've got a battle on for second position, and McIntyre is going to have a look at the outside run. They come up into Hawthorne's corner. Harry Reynolds there with Joe Warhurst getting stuck in. Warhurst still unbelievably chasing his first win, side by side with Reynolds. Reynolds in the Wera car on the inside.
Ooh. That's so bumpy on the exit of Westfield there, honestly. As you come up to Sheen and then across Dingledell into Sheen is just so bumpy, and you've got to be so careful in a rear-wheel drive car. But these kids doing us proud today. Brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant racing as ever from the juniors. Out Stirling's Bend, down towards Clearways once again. Fastest lap still with the race leader, Liam McNeely, who has really checked out, marking his authority on this. Now remember, race 3 is not a reverse grid race, thank goodness, anymore, as we get a potential change here. Lead teeing up Warhurst, checks up on the inside line. So the two elite racing runners, the two teammates side by side, and Ginetta Lee goes through on the inside, makes the move on Joe Warhurst. Nice move. Excellent move that was. He just needs to cover this off, or slides through the apex of Paddock Bend. That could have compromised him. Doesn't know. Jake Hill having a lot to do with Ginetta Lee, helping him out with a bit of coaching. Yeah. Really good stuff that was from Ginetta Lee. He's been a star this year. Really cool stuff. Yeah, another driver that we're going to enjoy watching go up the ladder. I was talking to you earlier about having watched juniors for that long, and you know, watched Tom Ingram when he was in the G20s, and even before that in karts, and it's amazing and inspiring to watch these youngsters from, you know, before they can go car racing, come up and be leading the British Touring Car Championship. Yeah, absolutely. Like we said about this Ginetta Junior Championship, I run out of superlatives sometimes. Single-seater racers, British GT racers, touring car drivers, every category is covered by this fantastic Junior Championship, and I wish it all the best as it goes off and goes on to another package. Nice to see Luke Watts at the sharp end of things. He's the third of the 3 cars we're looking at here, and this is our first proper look for a while at Luke Watts, and he's right in the mix here. We know he's a very quick driver, running for R Racing and chasing the 2 elite boys. McIntyre, the rookie champion in red, though, putting the South African under pressure. Akil at the moment is soaking up the pressure with 6 minutes to go. Could be another podium for Akil. Looks like it's all really down to McNeely out front, but we're very much focused on this scrap for second position. They are flying, Richard. They are flying. I tell you, Akil Alabai, he is lit so fast into these corners. He's using every inch of the track from white line to white line on the exit. Joe Warhurst with Ginetta Lee underneath him. Oh, he's going to get an overlap, and he's going to get down the inside. Here we go, side by side they go. Also in the mix there as well is Freddie Slater, another name we're going to watch going up the racing ladder as well. Slater in the grey and blue car. Warhurst going to repay the compliment. Back down the inside. Superb place swapping action from the juniors.
Look at Slater. Slater sees an opportunity down the inside of Warhurst as they go into Druids. Fifth gear down to second. Look at that. Cheeky rascal trying to get round the outside. He nearly did it as well. Fair play. They're still on track. Zach Meakin fully involved now.
Yeah, he's joined in as well with, this is great, isn't it? So many superb drivers, and you know, you can, if you look back at all the great juniors that have come through this championship and see where they are now, even if it's just some form of club racing, you know, you'd be there forever just picking out the stats and seeing how well they've done. Ella Lloyd still dicing it out with Sid Smith, who's got back in, and here comes Adam Brown on the inside in the 50 car. Adam's dad Mike still recovering, of course, from the incident at Thruxton, wishing him well. Adam out racing and making up places from the back. Had issues in qualifying, but he's making up good ground here, Adam Brown.
Oh, I have to step away from the monitor when I see this trio come through. Look at Akil Alabai in that 14. The speed of Will McIntyre trying to hang on to his coattails is absolutely stunning. I'm loving this. This is a brilliant fight, this is, between these three.
Willie Mack's been a good boy this year, keeping in touch with us and sending us the news, little cheeky moments as well. He's under a little bit of pressure though at the moment from Luke Watts. Watts trying to close in on him. Remember the two elite teammates running second and third, the yellow and red cars. They won't be teammates after this weekend, probably. So they can get stuck in here, can't they?
What are you trying to say, Rich? Yeah, go on, mate. You may as well fire me because we're not going to be teammates at the end of this.
Having said that, they might be though, because they might end up in the same single season formula, and it might be run by elite next year. You don't know.
They'll end up somewhere crossing paths, and they'll end up teammates at Le Mans or something. And then they'll remember what you said, you horror.
Look at McNeely though, he's a class by himself, isn't he, at the moment? Here's the challenge for second. On the inside goes McIntyre, well timed, he's got it done as they go into Druids. Now we've got Luke Watts coming up as well, all over the back of them. Watts is the wrong side as they go down to Graham Hill Bend, but McIntyre read that well. Stunning
This best racing I've probably seen all year. The juniors again just giving us something. Look at Watts now in the 37 down the inside of Akil Alabai. Job done. Brilliant from Willie Mack, and that was brilliant from Luke Watts, but it's not over yet.
Luke Watts has got himself up onto a potential podium here. He'll want second place, and I think he's got the speed to do it. So it's the R Racing meet in an elite racing sandwich, but joining in the Assetto Motorsport car of the man who was disqualified from the last race yesterday, Harry Reynolds, the championship leader from earlier on in the season, is right in the mix and closing up big time on these three. Alibai's coming up to join in as well with 3 minutes on the clock. It's a four-way scrap at the moment for second position. Alibi coming back, Reynolds to the outside, but out front it's McIntyre actually now trying to get away from Watts. As they squabble, they slow each other up, and it's allowing McIntyre to consolidate P2.
Wow, look at Harry Reynolds there in the black and turquoise car. Oh, bit sideways from Luke Watts. He really is in the pound seats now, Harry Reynolds. If he gets this right, he's running too fast, is he? He has to check up. He's across the grass, but back on. Harry Reynolds in the Weira Tools car now down the outside as they go to clearways. This is going to be a proper interesting corner now.
So Luke Watts up on the podium, Alibi from Reynolds. Let's see whether Watts can break clear. He's maybe left it too late to have a nibble at the second place. Watts still side by side that we go here, and Reynolds has got through on the inside of the kill. Alibi, it's a great qualifying from Alibi, really good defensive racing earlier on. Is Canato Lee going to catch him now? Reynolds will go through in the 23 car, the young Welshman makes it through.
Wow, I was just pointing at the screen. Look at that. Reynolds has got to be careful with that squeeze because Akil Alabai was there. Canato Lee joins the party, and he's caught them in like half a lap, hasn't he? This is a brilliant squabble now for third place, and Watts is looking and just thinking, please go away, Harry Reynolds. I just want this podium to myself, mate.
He does, doesn't he? Canato, how has he come into that? That just goes to show you how squabbling over a place can slow you up and draw everybody else into the mix. It fires up the drivers behind. As soon as you know that you've got a chance to catch it, the adrenaline starts to pump and you get the lines, and you know, they say 80% of it is psychology.
Yeah, exactly. You start pumping in qualifying procedures where you run more speed into the corners and you take extra risks. And look at Canato Lee on the right-hand side, the white and black car against Akil Alabai in the 14. He's starting to make him defend now. And they've spread out a bit, but saying they've spread out a bit. Harry Reynolds, he's going to try and get the switch back here because this could work out. Oh, it has got to work out. He's got the overlap. He's into the back of him. Contact.
He's got him.
Got him. Bringing Akil Alabai with him as well.
Oh, Dan Luke Watts, feel a little bit for him. Would be great to see him on the podium, but fair play to Akil Alibi, fighting back superbly, the South African, but it's the Welshman out front. Oh, and a little tap on the bonnet. Up goes the bonnet of Luke Watts' car. He will now be a little bit stuck to be able to see how close he is to the car in front. Let's hope that doesn't flap up and away.
Yeah, the aero should keep that down. There's a safety strap on them, so it shouldn't come all the way up. It wasn't that big of a contact, but the fiberglass bonnet, let's talk about that in a bit, because Harry Reynolds just ran a touch wide, and Akil Alibi now is looking to take that position off him. Look at all these cars fighting for this position.
Akil wants the podium. Remember, it's McNeely and McIntyre, P1 and P2. They've taken the last lap board. Through Paddock Hill Bend they go, side by side. Look at this. You wouldn't think we were still in the last stages of the race, but Watts goes on the grass on the inside of Harry Reynolds. He's on the inside of Akil Alibi and goes back up into third place. Luke Watts is back into third. Here comes Reynolds though. He's on the outside as they come down to the left-hander at Graham Hill Bend. Side by side. Watts surely can't see at that moment.
Unbelievable. He can't wait to get back on the throttle, so the bonnet comes down. This is for third position. Akil Alibi spent more time on the grass than he has on the tarmac in that yellow car.
And now Joe Warhurst in blue. Warhurst is back with the group. He wants a podium as well. It's Luke Watts holding the cards at the moment in third place. This is the battle. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what you will miss next year.
You will miss it, and I will be gutted when it's gone, but let's enjoy this, because this battle for third position is an absolute beauty. Look at this train, and I don't know how he's going to see. Look at the bonnet. He can't see. He's on the brakes too early. Everyone's in the back of each other. Contact everywhere you look. Contact.
Oh, this could end in tears. Away goes one of the advertising hoardings. That was courtesy of Harry Reynolds, but it's Watts still there at the moment. Warhurst gets into the back of him. Kanato Lee goes for the burn up round the outside here. As they go down the hill, it's still Watts there, but they're going every which way possible. And how is Harry Reynolds that far back? Reynolds has got to try and come back into it. We've got Zach Meakin in the mix now, as well as Luca Hopkinson, but Watts is still there. They're going into Stirling's. This is all going to be about the run down through Clearways, Clark Kirban to the flag.
It is. I mean, Liam McNeely has won the race. Fantastic for him. Willie Mack will come over the line second, but a brilliant another win for Liam McNeely. But third place, unreal.
Yeah, here we go. Here comes the pack, and Luke Watts has held on to it. The bonnet is down, and Luke Watts, is he going to take third place? Warhurst will have a run, but no, Watts is going to take third place. Watts gets it. He's on the podium. Let's just check the timing screen. It was Watts, but nearly wins with the fastest lap. Congratulations to him. McIntyre super drive into second, and Luke Watts, what a hero he was in that race with third position. Should he have had the black and orange flag?
It was too late to get the black and orange flag out, I think. I'll tell you one thing though, mate, you need the black and orange out for the bead on in your forehead. That was a sweaty race. Look at Akil Alibi in that yellow and black car on the grass for most of that lap. But then you can see the bonnet just steps up when the aero is released off the front of it. He couldn't really see where he's going in the 37. Luke Watts did so well to get this going. But look at Joe Warhurst and then Harry Reynolds in the inside. Bit naughty from Watts there, just come across in the 37. And I thought that was going to end in a big accident. Kanato Lee in the 19 round the outside. I can't even count how many cars. There must be at least 8 there battling for that third position.
I mean, you talk about karting, you don't even see kart races like that.
You don't, and that was unbelievable. But Liam McNeely, unfortunately for you, mate, behind you was the best entertainment ever. But well done to you and Fox Motorsport. You really have ended this year on a fantastic high, which is deserved.
Yeah, McNeely cementing third place in the championship. To get P2 last year was a mega achievement for him, and to come back into the top 4 was incredible. He's in the top 3 and he cemented that. Absolutely brilliant stuff from McNeely. McIntyre, the rookie champion in P2. His dad's down there, Liam McNeely's dad, and a super race for third place. A fascinating, thrilling race to watch for third position.
Wow, I've never seen anything like it.
That was worth the money for coming in, wasn't it, for everybody? Here's the result then, round 24 of the championship, and win number 2 of the season and the weekend for Liam McNeely and Fox Motorsport. Elite Motorsport second, courtesy of Will McIntyre. He's the rookie champion, the rookie winner from that race. And Luke Watts gets a podium, super drive from Luke, and he's second in the rookies. Joe Warhurst was next from Akil Alibi. Freddie Slater completes the rookie podium in 6th, then it was Kanato Lee and Harry Reynolds in 8th. Maurice Henry 9th, and the top 10 completed by Zach Meakin. 11th was Luca Hopkinson from Mackenzie Douglas and Sid Smith. Adam Brown through the field up into 14th place ahead of Ella Lloyd. Then it was Tom Spragg and Leona Theobald from Mikey Porter. 8th, Maurice Henry 9th, and then the top 10 completed by Luke Watts. And I think everybody at home, as with the drivers here, deserve a little break. So we'll